When you think of dominating athletes, could Simone be the most dominant ever compared to her peers?
Forget about dominating her peers. How about dominating gravity? That triple-double jump she did was, I still can't even process the fact that that was a real thing that happened. That was some superhero stuff right there. Yeah, she certainly is in the argument for most dominant over her peers. I mean, you mentioned it, 20 consecutive all-around title wins over 6 years. Now, the individual dominance sometimes is a little easier to establish in individual sports, especially specialized sports that we focus on, you know, like gymnastics and swimming and track, when they come around in the public consciousness, you know, on a less regular basis. But individual sports, you can see it because you're head-to-head against everybody else, and it's not dependent on how the team does. So that's why you have Biles and Phelps and Bolt and Tiger Woods and Floyd Mayweather entering those conversations.
Yeah, it's such a hard debate, right? Because it's tough to compare sport versus sport, generation versus generation, competition level versus competition level. It's just hard. But when you look at what she's done, she is certainly in that conversation. I compare it to Tiger Woods. You mentioned individual sports. What Tiger did back in his peak in 2000, winning the U.S. Open by 15 strokes, and then he backed it up by winning the British Open by 8 strokes. That's completely obliterating the competition. He then in 2006 won 7 consecutive events. Okay, that's the type of stuff we're seeing right here. Look at Serena Williams, what she did back in 2002. 56-5, 8 titles, 3 majors. Then she goes and does it again in 2015, wins 3 more majors. That's the type of level of complete dominance of the sport. That's really what we're talking about, right? Simone Biles owns the sport of gymnastics right now.
Yeah, but even Tiger and Serena didn't win to the degree that she's winning like every single time. So, yeah, she's right there in that conversation. I think the only people in team sports that make their way in, at least currently, would be LeBron and Brady.